You want to sculpt your own mask using your tablet, you're in the right video. I'm going to show you how I create this mask, how I sculpt it on Nomad Sculpt in 3D on my iPad. And I'm going to show you at the end how I printed this mask and give you some tips. So let's start. And we open our program, and right away we have this sphere. This is what I'm going to use to create this mask. To make it really, really easy, I'm going to take advantage that this program has a model of a human head. I'm going to go to the vertices menu where we have the scene and the layers, and I'm going to select add new object, and I'm going to select head. But you can see right away that I have this human head, and it's exactly in the place that I want with the sphere on top. And what I'm going to do is just use my gizmo to be able to move and squish this sphere. And I'm going to squish it just to make sure that I have kind of the thickness of the mask. It doesn't have to be perfect, and you're going to see in a moment why. But I'm going to try to place it. In my case, it's going to be after the ears. And it depends which kind of mask you want to create. To me, it's going to be a really simple and a small mask. So I'm just going to position it here, and I'm just going to use the move tool and just shape it. Shape it the way you want it. You can cover the whole face. For me, I'm just going to cover half of the face. The most important thing is that you work on the main shape. Make sure that all around your face, you don't have really thickness unless you want that. Just make sure that you're going to have a thickness enough for a mask. The most important in this step is just to have the shape of the mask. Try to go around your face. Make sure that you push everything wherever it needs to be. You can cover the whole face. Another important thing is that don't worry about whatever is behind the mask. We're just going to focus on the front and make sure that we have everything the way I want it for me in this occasion. And it's going to be kind of a cat mask. So I need to have kind of those cheeks, and I'm going to just create a simple shape. And when I'm kind of a little bit happy, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can change it later. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to use my clay tool. I'm going to make sure that I invert the tool. So instead of adding material, I'm going to subtract. In this way, I'm going to be able to create just a simple nose. And also what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same tool to create my eye socket for this mask so I can see. One thing that I see right away is that whatever I was thinking my eyes were, they're actually not there. So one thing that you can do is you can go to the menu and on the layers, select your mask. You can rename it. I'm really bad renaming things, and so just because I don't have a lot of time, I don't do it, but you should do it. You select the layer and you turn off the eye, and you'll be able to see what is behind. In my occasion, I could have just go back by tapping twice on the screen, but I'm just gonna move this already kind of hole that I did. So I'm gonna use the move tool and I'm just gonna move them. I use my smooth tool, and now that I'm kind of happy with the shape, I keep working on it. And like you can see, it's really easy. You don't need too many tools. I'm coming back and forth between the clay tool, the move tool, the smooth tool. To be honest, those are the three main tools that I need. You can download, you can create your own brushes that I'm gonna do in the future video of that. But I wanna simplify and make sure that you know that you don't need to have a lot of things to create what you want. Use your imagination. So keep working. I don't know if I'm liking it, but I'm gonna show you a tool that is really important. I could have done it with just a simple moving tool, but let's show again the mask that I showed in another tutorial. Where remember when you paint, everything that is dark, it will be protected. And with the menu on top, you can invert that selection. So over here, I can work on the nose and I can push it. Of course, this is really useful when it's more complicated. If you want to design or create texture or even text, this is a really easy way to do that. When you're done, you just have to clear it and you're good to go. And I can just go back to my clay tool that kind of, you can do everything with that one alone and just keep shaping. Another thing that I did in my other tutorial was creating ears with cones. To be honest, I like to use more spheres. It's been so easy and simple that I'm just think I'm gonna keep using it. Hopefully, it's not that complicated for people to use this technique. If it is, use a sphere, you can deform it really easy. Like you can see, I use the mask to make sure that the shape stays the same, and I can just work on pushing things, smoothing things, and giving that shape. And then I just need to use my symmetric tool or just to duplicate it so I can have my two ears, just make sure they're in the right position. And then one important thing that we can focus now that I kind of see the mask is removing the part that is on the back. To do that, to make sure that you don't have to do crazy things cutting it off, I'm gonna use the same head to cut my mask. To do that, we go to the menu where you can see the scenes, where we can see the layers. You select the head. You have to make sure that that layer, the eye is off, so we cannot see it. Well, you're gonna see like certain dots. That means that that object is gonna cut whatever object you select next. So I'm gonna select the mask. I'm gonna press Boolean and it's cut. One mistake that I did is that I didn't fuse the ears or I just didn't select them. So I'm gonna go back tapping twice on the screen and I'm gonna redo it, but this time I'm gonna select both ears too. Like you can see, the cut is perfect. We have two eyes, which kind of looks weird. I didn't put them there. It comes with the head, and I just love it because I can use it right away to cut the eyes for my mask. And it's going to be really useful. We're going to do the same thing. Select the spheres, select the mask, boolean, and perfect. Now we have perfect cuts that I don't have to worry about messing with anything else. And I think I can add a little bit more details. Okay, this doesn't look like a cat, so I'm gonna add just a few things like the whiskers. I'm hoping that this is gonna look really good on the print, but we'll see it when I 3D print the mask. And also I'm gonna create this, I'm being a little bit lazy, I'm gonna use really easy also this cone to create these teeth. I'm gonna use the same thing, I'm gonna put again another face to be able to cut it and make sure that the teeth are completely flat on the back. And after that, I can see my mask is done. So now it's time to print. Let's see how it looks. And here's the mask. I'm really liking it. One of the things that I have my Kakashi t-shirt, and for those who love anime, simply this is a cat mask. It's not exactly the same, but it was inspired by the Ambu mask. This is not exactly from the anime, of course. This was just a version, and also for the people that love cats. And this is how it turned out. Something that I didn't do and I should have done is that even if over here it feels good and it can kind of fit perfectly, I should have added that piece of material, just like a square with a hole, so I can actually attach it. But I can talk normally. I mean, I'm actually really liking this mask. Of course, I could have sanded, painted, and do so much more. There's still a tiny channel, so I don't have the time to do that. But still, look how good it is. One thing that I have to say, this is not exactly my face, exactly the same size. And one important thing, don't be surprised. And it's something that maybe I'm going to explore more and teach you another video. But basically, I thought when you put that human head on your application, that it will be like the same size of a real human, or at least an approximate. But the reality that is not. So when I create the mask and I export it, I didn't pay attention on the size. When I put it on my slicer, it was so tiny I couldn't even see it. I had really to, I don't remember, to put it like 600% or something like that to be able to have this piece. So just have that in mind, depending on how the size of how you export it is how big it's gonna be. But I didn't have issues just on my slicer, just to, like I mentioned, to put like 700%, I don't remember exactly. And I was able to see it, to adjust. I didn't really took measurement. I'm surprised that it fits almost perfectly. Probably would have been good a little bit bigger, but overall, I think it's not that bad. But if you really want to have your size, the best thing is just to measure your forehead from almost to the ear, and kind of you can kind of wiggle and try to find that specific size. Or if you have already printed something, you can kind of compare. But yeah, I think in another video I'm going to explore how to create your helmet and your mask in a specific site so you can really know what to do. But there's something to be expected. Another thing that I did with this mask is there is a tool on a slicer, on most slicers, that it can give you different layers height. This one always on my other prints, I have printed with a really thick layer, 0.28. In this tool, what it does is that depending, like over here, always we know that on the top of a lot of surfaces on your prints, always leave like a really, really distinctive rings that you can see, and that will take forever to sand. So over here, I used that adapted, and it wasn't bad, but I didn't like that it cannot give me really tiny layers and really big ones, which I know that's kind of the point. But even if I smooth the tool and everything, you can really notice every single chunk. And for that, I would have just better tried to print it in a really, really the lowest layer possible, or just the biggest and just sand it. Not this, it's just exactly how it came out from my printer. I haven't sanded or anything. I intend to sand it and paint it. Another thing that I have to suggest with mask, the best thing is probably to put it straight, or just to understand that when you have certain pieces that has like a dome, you don't really need supports. Kind of slowly the dome is supporting the piece. Over here, I put auto supports and it gave me really bad just artifacts. Of course, no one can see it. I can just sand it. I can even put like a foam or something so I'm not touching the plastic. It's actually really comfortable. I'm surprised. But, and even the nose, even I can breathe a little bit. But well, the point is that I'm going to show you the nose and all the, also over here, really bad defects. And I had a lot of supports over here, a lot of things that I didn't really need to have those. But well, I could have done it better. But one of the important thing is that if you can to tilt it, to move around, the most important thing on 3D printing is things that are hanging out, more if it is like a big piece. The best thing that you want to try is to make sure that the most straight possible. Of course, it's gonna be, you're not gonna be able to do it, but this way you have less defects and you're gonna be able to have a better print. Pretty much, this is my mask. What do you think? If you're a beginner on Nomad, I have another video where I create a flexi toy. For sure, you can check that out if you want to know more about this program. And comment below, subscribe. Remember, this is an sculpting and a 3D printing channel, so I do a little bit of both. So enjoy your art, make things, and see you next time. Can I use this for Halloween?